wind is up there pretty high, and Jonathan, I know you'll give us specific numbers in a second, but Hinesville, 474 Georgia Power customers are without power right now, and in Bullitt County, 169. We also have some in the Low Country. We're looking at 2,353 people in Colleton County do not have power this morning. So, Jonathan, what are the wind speeds?
It's been gusting, Jessica, over 30 miles per hour since midnight. Even has some reports of 40-mile-per-hour wind gusts. And here are the wind gusts from overnight last night. You can see Savannah did have a 40. That's at the airport. As of right now, the current wind gusts are coming in between about 22 and 30, all the way to the coastal areas. Even along the coast for the beaches are seeing winds gusting over 30 this morning. So it is definitely a windy morning. We'll continue seeing that windy conditions all the way through the morning hours. Also, another thing, too, are the wind chill values. Here's the current temperatures outside. Most spots upper 20s and lower 30s, and it feels like into the upper teens in many areas. So it will be a cold day. I was talking about it all week long. Blustery conditions all the way through the afternoon. Clear skies, 31 degrees. Winds northwest 20 to 30 miles per hour throughout the morning, though slowly slacking off later this afternoon. Lots of sunshine today. Look at these highs. Only 44 to 48 for afternoon highs. I'll be looking at the complete look at that storm tracker forecast, taking a look into the weekend coming up a little later.
Thanks, Jonathan. To our other news this morning, an 18-year-old was hit by a car on White Bluff Road last night. Metro Police say she is in stable condition at the hospital. Melody Johnson was crossing White Bluff in front of the Oglethorpe Mall when she was hit at about 7:30 last night. Police say she wasn't in a crosswalk. She was also wearing dark colored clothes. It was a 28-year-old Savannah man in a small hatchback who ran into the woman. No charges have been reported at this time. Now to a developing story. We are learning more about the former Valdosta bank director who became wanted by the FBI. Aubrey Price is accused of embezzling millions of dollars. He's been on the run for 18 months. He's also going to be required to pay up for faking his death, something that cost the Coast Guard almost $200,000. As our Jennifer Andrews shows us, it's what he's telling investigators that's now making headlines throughout the country.
You might call him a dead man walking. 47-year-old Aubrey Lee Price, a former Valdosta banker, thought dead, now very much alive and heading to a Brunswick courtroom. He is accused of defrauding a bank and investors in a multi-million-dollar investment scheme.
I started putting money into a retirement account when I was 22, and that was completely wiped out, and all of our savings.
Authorities think that Price faked his own death when he disappeared back in 2012. He reportedly sent a letter to family and friends saying that he planned to kill himself by jumping off a ferry. But the FBI didn't buy it, and he was eventually spotted outside airports in New York and Florida. But eventually he was declared dead. Then, finally, 18 months later, Price was nabbed for having illegally tinted windows during a traffic stop on I-95 in Glenn County.
We really didn't know who he was until we got here to the jail. And once we found out, we didn't know it was going to be this big, this extravagant.
When we brought him down to the detention center, prior to booking him, I went ahead and myself and Deputy Falk asked him, are you going to go ahead and tell us who you are? And that's when he let us know that he was Aubrey Lee Price.
It was like a weight lifted off his shoulders. You could see it in his face.
The U.S. Marshal said that Price told authorities he had been homeless and was working as a migrant worker, accepting cash for odd jobs.
That was Jennifer Andrews reporting. Price is expected to be in court right here in Savannah on Monday. The search continues for the man responsible for one of last year's Savannah murders. Take a look at the picture. 31-year-old Maurice Bentley is wanted for murder in the investigation of Michael Polite. Police want you to keep in mind that Bentley had braided hair and has possibly cut it. He is also a registered sex offender, and police say he should be considered armed and dangerous. Two alleged armed robbers are off Statesboro streets. Back in November, 3 people broke into an apartment at the Avenue at Southern and held 2 residents at gunpoint and robbed them. After an investigation, police arrested Bradley Edwards and Xavier Lundy as 2 of the armed robbers. Now, these men were charged with armed robbery, aggravated assault, and burglary. The case is still under investigation, and if you have any information to share with police, you're urged to contact the Statesboro Police Department. A dramatic spike in Savannah homicides has police asking for your help. 2013 saw the murder rate shoot up 25%. A rise in violent crimes was experienced nationwide last year. In most cases of murder locally, police say the victims knew their attackers. WJCL's Renee LaSalle is working for you, trying to get to the bottom of the Savannah crime rate.
It could have been me.
Nicholas Black says the violence has got to stop.
It could have been anybody because the bullets have no name.
The 18-year-old was coming home on Christmas Eve and found a murder scene on Elliott Street, one of 31 homicides in Savannah in 2013.
No number is acceptable.
But those numbers are up nearly 25%. Take a look. The 31 homicides in 2013 are up significantly over the 23 in 2012 and the 26 homicides in 2011. Major Harry Branson says 22 of those cases are either closed, pending arrest, or grand jury indictment.
In all but about 9 of these cases is the perpetrator was known to the victim.
But those aren't the only numbers on the rise. Rapes are also up dramatically. There were 48 rapes reported in 2013 versus 25 in 2012 and 36 in 2011. Aggravated assaults with a gun were up too. 2013 had 163 aggravated assault with a gun reports compared to 135 in 2012 and 151 in 2011.
Anytime there's a rise in crime, there should be a concern by our community.
Major Branson says the department is taking every step possible to curb violent crime. There are additional police on the streets, and the department is working to strengthen community ties. Back in West Savannah, Nicholas Black says police are doing what they can, but the community must do its part.
You can hear about it all the time. You can hear it in your house, you can hear it. But you actually see it happening, it really does strike the chord.
And police are asking for your help to solve the 9 open homicide cases from 2013. A list of those crimes is posted on this story on our website. Go to WJCL.com to see it. Call the Crime Stoppers hotline with tips and you could qualify for a cash reward. The Boy Scouts are now allowing openly gay youngsters. It all started just this week. Many groups, including churches, have stopped sponsoring the Boy Scouts because of the policy change. Local scouting groups report feeling the effects of change. WJCL's Chelsea McDonald joins us now, working for you to find out how they're feeling those effects.
Although 17 different organizations, including churches and after-school programs, have cut ties with the Coastal Empire Boy Scout Council, the group is one of only a few councils in the country who've actually had growth. St. Michael's Episcopal Church has supported the Boy Scouts since the 30s. When the Boy Scouts began allowing gay youths, the church didn't let the new policy distract them from their values.
Well, because I see the values that children are taught in scouting, life skills and life values that they learn from being part of the scouting organization, and that's more important than being distracted by the controversy, because they see what the value is brought to the children.
The Coastal Empire Boy Scout Council had to stop efforts of starting new units in order to find homes for those units that didn't have a place to meet. But the Scouts have been able to find homes for all 17 units. Robert Misroon has led the Cub Scouts for years, and he appreciates St. Michael's support.
It's been critical for us to have that support of the church, and we've had it, like I said, since the 30s, and it continues to be strong. And it's what allows us as adult volunteers to bring the program to the children. If we didn't have that support, we couldn't bring the program to the kids.
On the WJCL Facebook page, viewers react to the new Boy Scout policy. One says, "I think that this is a step in the right direction. All boys should be able to join the Scouts." Another viewer says, "Boy Scouts teaches life lessons that everyone can use, regardless of sexual preference. I don't see why this would even be an issue."
Any youth that wants to be a part of Boy Scouts has an opportunity, is our goal here in the Coastal Empire Council.
They've had long discussions about how the new policy could be a positive thing, and that the sexual orientation of the boys shouldn't affect the leaders' beliefs. The Boy Scouts of America maintains its ban on gay adult leaders. Reporting in the studio, Chelsea McDonald, WJCL News, working for you.
Let's get right into that storm tracker forecast. A busy morning watching lots of gusty winds, also cold conditions outside. Look at these lows this morning. We're starting out upper 20s for the inland areas, closer to 32 along the coast. This is about 20 degrees colder than where we started off this time yesterday. And what does it feel like when you factor in the temperature and also the wind speed? How about it feels like 17 in Statesboro, also Pembroke feels like 19 in Savannah, and it feels like 15 in Jessup. Definitely want to bundle up as you head out the door for work this morning. It is quite cold. One of the colder mornings we've seen in several weeks now. We're seeing dry conditions. The rain from yesterday moved well off the coast from anywhere from yesterday all the way into the morning hours. We had many areas picked up over an inch of rain with those showers yesterday, even some heavy downpours. Blizzard conditions off the coast of New York this morning. Long Island has been reporting blizzard conditions overnight last night. That extends all the way across in northern parts of the Northeast. Is seeing quite a bit of snowfall. I'm sure there's going to be quite a few major delays this morning at the airports from the nation's capital all the way up to New York, Philadelphia, and also into Boston. Storm tracker day planner starting the day out windy, 30 degrees, clear skies, lots of sunshine all the way through the day. Look at this, by lunchtime 38 degrees, and by 5 o'clock 43. Highest for today only in the mid 40s, well below our seasonal averages. Storm tracker 7-day forecast. We will slowly see a warm up as we go throughout the weekend. 56 degrees tomorrow and then 66 on Sunday. However, Sunday increasing clouds, the showers develop late in the day. Another strong cold front moves through on Monday. Look at that high, Jessica, for Tuesday. We may not get out of the 30s on Tuesday afternoon, with morning lows for Wednesday morning in the mid 20s.
Wow. Thanks, Jonathan. Coming up on Good Morning Savannah, saying goodbye to 2013's Christmas trees. Lots of places are grinding the greens this weekend. We'll tell you where. Plus, JetBlue is coming to our airport sometime this year, but exactly when, we found out for you. We'll tell you before 5:30. But first, millions of Americans now have health insurance because of the Affordable Care Act. But is there still time to sign up, and when does the fee begin? We'll answer those questions next. Thank you. To our health news now. Do you know the deadline to sign up for the Affordable Care Act, or do you know how or when you'll have to pay? We put people to the test and wait until you hear what they say. WJCL's Nick Notario working for you this morning. He's come up with what could be called Obamacare 101.
The ball dropping in New York City didn't just ring in a new year. It also gave about 2 million Americans health insurance. This is because those who signed up for insurance through the new healthcare.gov website are now covered, including Katie Gonzalez.
My husband did not have it before, so it's a relief to know that we're both secure.
Even though Gonzalez is covered, she wasn't sure when she had to sign up to guarantee insurance for 2014.
I have no idea. I really kind of thought it was actually January 1st, so I felt like the pressure was on.
It was a trend WJCL discovered. No one we asked seemed to know.
My impression is that the deadline was extended into January, but I'm not positive about that.
For those who didn't sign up by January 1st, there's still time to get coverage. People can do so through the end of March. Also the date to remember, because if you don't have an insurance or haven't signed up through the website, then you get hit with a penalty.
You miss a deadline, here's what you'll be forced to pay. The minimum amount is $95 per adult and $47.50 per kid for the year. Another thing, just because you can still sign up to get coverage for 2014 doesn't mean it happens right away. If you sign up before the 15th of the month, coverage can start by the following month. But wait until the 16th, and it takes a month and a half until it can begin. Information some people hope gets cleared up before they decide to renew.
Probably. We'll see how it goes, but I don't see why not.
Nick Notario, WJCL News, working for you.
If you missed the enrollment period for 2014, which again ends at the end of March, you can sign up for 2015 beginning in November. Now keep in mind, the penalty for not having insurance next year is going to be hundreds of dollars more than it is this year. All of this information and a whole lot more about the insurance can be found on our website, WJCL.com. 5:17 right now. Still to come, more business is coming to the South Carolina Lowcountry. Just before 5:30, we're working for you to find out how Hardeeville is building itself up. We'll be right back with more on our show. Was a second wind VO created? Yep. I'll do that. Okay, perfect. Thank you.
Welcome back to Good Morning Savannah, 519 destination weather time. If you're flying out of Savannah this morning to the mid-Atlantic Northeast, definitely want to check in with that flight with quite a bit of snowy conditions. Seeing a nor'easter off the coast is producing blizzard conditions just off to the east of New York. Clear skies in Savannah, 31. It is windy. Not seeing any problems with many flights, but the flights from Savannah up to the northeast are seeing the one to New York is canceled this morning with snow coming down heavy. Also, New York is seeing light snow with running with some delays there. Also, 20 to 25 minute to 35 45-minute delays at O'Hare in Chicago. So even back across the Midwest are seeing some delays as well. Across the Pacific over in Afghanistan, mostly cloudy skies, and it is a cold afternoon with a temperature of 39. Storm Tracker 7-day forecast. It will be a blustery day, gusty northwest winds all the way through the afternoon. Highs only in the mid-40s. 28 tonight, 56 on Saturday. Chances for showers, and it'll be warmer for Sunday afternoon, 66 degrees, and then turning very cold once again next week with afternoon highs next Tuesday near 40. You're watching Good Morning Savannah. We'll be right back after the break.
South Carolina drivers are saving big on gasoline. AAA Carolinas reports the average price for a gallon of gasoline was $3.24 in 2013 in South Carolina. That's actually 25 cents below the national average of $3.49. That's also the lowest average price in the nation. Part of the reason is because it also has one of the lowest gas taxes in the country, less than 17 cents a gallon, unchanged since 1987. More hotels and restaurants could be headed to Jasper County. Hardeeville and Jasper County officials want to direct more traffic off Interstate 95 near Exit 8. As WJCL Low Country Bureau Chief Larry Sproul explains this morning, he says the planners say it's pretty simple.
Cash is flowing in here at Doc Shell's gas station in Hardeeville. But that's not always the case.
It's normally quiet here. We don't normally have too much business. But since it's the holiday, it seems like it picks up more traffic.
Kevin Green has seen a lot of foot traffic come and go inside this store.
This is the exit normally, like, tourists get off to go to Hillhead.
But that may change. Hardeeville and Jasper County officials have plans to take this traffic off of Interstate 95 and direct it into their direction.
Everyone noticed there was a large amount of traffic coming through there on a daily basis, not just during high tourist season.
That's why Snowden says they want to build hotels and restaurants on these 1,800 acres off of Interstate 95. Now, they're not sure exactly what else will go here, but the goal is to come from behind the shadows of their neighboring cities down the street.
Hardeeville and Jasper County officials say a lot of times when people pass by Exit 8, they just focus on Bluffton, Beaufort, and Hilton Head. But they believe if they too build in this area, a lot of this traffic will go to Hardeeville and Jasper County as well.
It's a very important spot for us for our economic development.
It will draw more tourists that comes to this area, and also the people that stay here, it'll give them, a shopping and more jobs to offer.
An offer Jasper County hopes drivers cannot pass by.
That was our Larry Sproul reporting. Snowden says the next step is to address the Planning Commission in both Hardeeville and Jasper County. The first thing they need to do is cut the grass and install signs around the exit. All right, now to an update on a story that we have been following. JetBlue will soon be in Savannah, and officials say everything is still a go. There are no desk agents or signage yet for the discounted airline, but airport leaders say don't worry, those will be here next month. Flights to New York City and Boston begin in February, and some people cannot wait.
I'm really excited about that. I have some friends who go to school in Boston, so it'd be really easy to just go and take a round trip flight up there and go visit them anytime now.
I think it's great that JetBlue's coming into town because then there'll be more low-cost options for people wanting to fly to New York or Boston or other places.
And you may book flights out of Savannah online after mid-February. The time now is 5:26. Straight ahead, it's lights out for those incandescent light bulbs. Next, we'll tell you why they will soon be out of stores.
Okay. Thank you.
Welcome back to Good Morning Savannah, 5:29 here on your Friday morning. And if you're headed out the door for work this morning, you'll definitely need to hold on to that hat. It is very windy. We're seeing winds sustain in Savannah at 20 miles per hour. Winds gusting close to 30, 31 degrees is the air temperature, 54% the humidity. And with those winds, there have been some power outages reported in parts of the area overnight last night with those gusty winds, close to 40 mile per hour wind gusts overnight. It feels like outside with the wind chill values at many areas, upper teens, like 19 is what it feels like like in Savannah, 17, Statesboro, Pembroke, Hampton, Beaufort, 22, feels like 19 in Glenville, feels like 18 degrees in Blackshear, and Jessup feels like 15 degrees. So it just gives you an idea when you take the temperature and the wind speed and you put those two together, and it comes out with that wind chill value, which that's where we're seeing those temperatures into the teens this morning. We're seeing dry conditions across our area, the southeast, but look at this wintry weather across much of the mid-Atlantic, from Atlantic City across Long Island. They've had blizzard conditions overnight last night just south of New York, all the way up to south and east of parts of Boston, eastern parts of Massachusetts. We're seeing quite a bit of a heavy snowfall. Many areas to the northeast along the coast could pick up over a foot of snow overnight last night and throughout the morning hours today. A storm tracker forecast, won't see any rain here, no snow. All we'll see is cold conditions, 30 degrees by 8 o'clock. Once we head into the afternoon, temperatures for today well below average, only 46 degrees. It'll feel colder than that 46 with those breezy northwest winds. And then for tonight by 9 o'clock, if you're headed out for evening dinner, mostly clear and a temperature of 33. And yes, I do expect to see a hard freeze for tonight. Those temperatures going down below freezing by 10 o'clock. Overnight lows upper 20s, 56 degrees on Saturday, sun and clouds, 66 on Sunday with increasing clouds. Probably mostly cloudy throughout much of the day on Sunday. Showers developing late Sunday and throughout early on Monday. Another strong Arctic front, and the next front probably will even be colder than this one, with temperatures for next Tuesday probably struggling to get out of the 30s in the afternoon with highs near 40.
And now, WJCL News, working for you.
Good morning, I'm Jessica Kiss. Here are the top news stories for this Friday morning. An 18-year-old was hit by a car on White Bluff Road last night. Metro Police say Melody Johnson is in stable condition at the hospital. Johnson was crossing White Bluff in front of the Oglethorpe Mall when she was hit at about 7:30. Police say she wasn't in a crosswalk. She was also wearing dark colored clothing. It was a 28-year-old Savannah man in a small hatchback who ran into the woman. No charges have been reported at this time. A U.S. Marshal told a judge that a South Georgia bank director accused of losing millions of investor dollars before vanishing was homeless before his arrest New Year's Eve. Aubrey Price appeared before a federal judge in Brunswick Thursday. The 47-year-old had been on the run for 18 months. He was pulled over on Interstate 95 this week for having 2 dark tinted windows. Now that 2013 has been put to bed, we can tell you the total number of murders for Savannah. There were 31 homicides. Unfortunately, that's 8 more than the year before. That's also more murders than committed in 2011. A Metro Police major said in all but 9 murder cases last year, the victim knew the murderer or suspected murderer.
Let's take a look at that traffic report here on your Friday morning. One traffic light is out on the Science Drive and Abercorn right at Armstrong Atlantic State University. So watch out for that if you're driving through that area. And the traffic overall is okay this morning, but it is very windy as you drive to work this morning. Here's a look at that radar hotspot. It is MLK Boulevard. Jessica?
Thanks, Jonathan. 2 hands on the wheel today. A consumer alert starting off the new year. You can say goodbye to those incandescent light bulbs. But what does this really mean for you? WJCL's Cassidy Lance is here in the studio with more, making sure that we're not left in the dark. Good morning, Cassidy.
Good morning, Jessica. Yeah, that's right. The start of the year meant incandescent light bulbs are starting to be phased out, which for some is a big concern. So we spoke to some local experts to find out what you can expect in the months ahead.
Raymond Thomas came to Home Depot on Victory Drive looking for this, a pack of 60-watt incandescent light bulbs. But he quickly realized the pickings were slim.
I am trying to find these bulbs, and this is my 4th stop. And I haven't been able to find them anyplace else.
That's because as of January 1st, federally mandated efficiency standards made it illegal to manufacture or import 40 and 60-watt incandescent bulbs, the 2 most popular on the market.
A lot of people are actually getting nervous.
This change, all a part of the Energy Independence and Security Act of 2007, meant to make light bulbs more efficient and environmentally friendly. So what does this mean for you? The traditional bulbs have now been replaced with others like LEDs and compact fluorescents, also known as CFLs. It also means more choices and smaller electric bills.
They not only save on the electricity of the lights burning, they put out less heat.
While everyone loves to save money, all of those choices can be a bit confusing. And while most of these bulbs have EcoSmart replacements, not all is equal.
This is just one example of a 60-watt bulb that's currently being phased out, but customers don't worry, there's already a replacement. This 60-watt equivalent EcoSmart bulb that associates say will do the exact same job. The difference? This 2-pack is priced at $277. this EcoSmart 2-pack priced at $10.97.
But experts and customers say shelling out more cash for the bulbs will be worth it.
Lasts 7 years longer compared to the regular incandescent, which doesn't have a long lifespan.
Even though they're going to cost more, they'll last longer. So it's a trade-off.
Now, even though production of the incandescent bulbs has been discontinued, you still can buy them in stores. But Jessica, that's only as long as supplies last. Once they're gone, and these experts say they're not expecting a big problem right now, but in just a few months when people, get on their shelves and pull them off, you might be looking at a problem when you're looking for those incandescent bulbs.
Exactly. And from a designer standpoint, next week we're going to be talking to some professionals and find out what it means, when you're trying to get good pictures or just the mood, the lighting, how it affects your mood in a room. So
exactly, and it all matters.
Yeah, it does. We'll work for everybody next week and have that story. Thanks, Cassidy.